Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. I'm going to talk a little bit today about the father of the Georgia school shooters has been arrested. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I'm here with a speak up mug because I think we need to speak up, like I talked about yesterday, to prevent these kind of situations before they happen. Yes, it's important to know what to do during an active shooter event, but it's more important to prevent them in the first place. And that sort of ties into what we're going to talk about a little bit today with the father being arrested. I'm not as well prepared as I wanted to be today with this stuff happening, just because I had a lot going on yesterday, dealing with some financial stuff, dealing with the cancer and all that with my daughter's school. And if you remember this summer, during the big storm and different things, I was taking care of a friend's dog and animals. And, whenever my friend went on vacation and stuff, I would go over and take care of the dog and just, wonderful, wonderful dog. And he had to put him down yesterday. He had cancer and then a lung collapsed. And so, I went over there to be with my friend during a really difficult situation. Tough for me too, because I really cared for that dog as well. And so my night was just sort of didn't do much else after that. So I'm not as prepared as I want to be, but I want to talk a little bit about this, but I don't have all the facts I wish I had. But what I will say is they have arrested the father of the 14-year-old who killed 4 people the other day in Georgia. Now, this isn't new. If you remember a while back, I said that when that father and mother of a previous shooter were convicted on manslaughter charges and so forth, I said, this is going to change the game a little bit. And we're going to see this again. And now we are. And he wasn't just charged with manslaughter. He was charged with murder, this father. Now, from what I have read and some of the facts I do know, we talked a little bit yesterday how the FBI had investigated this boy and father, interviewed them a year ago of a suspected threat regarding a shooting. But they did not have enough at that time to make an arrest or go further. They just said, we need to watch this person. Now, as I said yesterday, there were probably a lot of clues and things that warning signs since that investigation up until that killing. I doubt that they had that interview a year ago and nothing else happened, and then all of a sudden the shooting. There were warning signs. There were clues. There are in most of these situations. Well, it turns out now what they're discovering is that the father, after those investigations, provided him with the weapon that he used to kill the people. And that's why he's being charged with both manslaughter and murder and a few other crimes for the people that were injured, not killed. Now, is this right? Is this wrong? I personally think that it's better to go after that father than, the gun manufacturer, which some people want to sue and go after criminally and so forth, because I think the father does have some responsibility. Now, I don't know all the facts, but they're also coming out and saying that this child, the 14-year-old, had an interest in other shootings and killings. Well, that's one of the warning signs that I talk about in my book and in my live classes. That if somebody has this fascination with previous killers, why? Okay, so they have a fascination with previous killers. They're disgruntled. They have something going on. They're getting weapons. You put all that stuff together, that's bad news. It's one thing for Alain to be researching active killers for my book or for my classes and talking to you like I am today. It's one thing for a security professional, a law enforcement professional to be researching these so they can do their job better, so we can stay ahead of these killers. because they study each other. So when you have somebody that's not in these other capacities studying these killers, what's going on? I mean, they figure the Virginia Tech killer got the idea to chain the doors, which slowed down the law enforcement response. They figure he got that idea from the Amish schoolgirl situation where the guy barricaded himself into the Amish schoolhouse with those girls and were doing terrible things until the police could finally break their way in. Because after the killing, obviously, of Virginia Tech, they found that stuff on this computer. He was researching these previous killers. They do that. So, I mean, we have somebody young, 13 at the time the FBI investigated them, and now they're researching and they're fascinated with other killings, possibly made a threat, even though the FBI couldn't prove it at that time. Now they want a weapon, because why would the father give it to him if he didn't want it? And I'm sure there were some other warning signs. Just because of history and with all the others that have the warning signs, I'm confident they're going to uncover more warning signs that this individual displayed. So why wasn't something done? That's the thing. And the father would have been in a position to do it. We'll go back a number of years, a little bit before COVID, out east, where that father found the diary of the young girl, and she was writing about wanting to be the first female active shooter. She wouldn't have been. We've had females. But she was also writing about wanting a higher body count than another one. Again, they researched these, and they fascinated with previous killings and want to do better than previous killings. But when the father found that information out, they got that young lady to help, and before she ever took a gun to school and did anything. We need more of that. So I don't know all the facts yet. I wish I knew more facts about this situation in Georgia. But I do think the arrest and charging, not just with manslaughter, but with murder charges, that's new. Again, we had that previous husband and wife that were charged because of their child committing a crime, an active shooter situation, and they were charged and found, they were convicted. I would assume this person will probably be convicted. They could then face civil. He'll be sued by the families of all the victims. And I could see more of that in the future. Maybe it will cause people to take greater interest in what their children are doing and some of this behavior. And maybe we'll have more of what that father did out east and stopped her from committing a crime, rather than ignoring it or making it easier by providing him a weapon, which apparently he did. I mean, again, I don't know all the facts, but apparently the father gave, this 14-year-old the weapon that he used to kill people. So maybe these lawsuits and criminal charges and civil will make a difference. But bottom line, there were warning signs big enough that FBI was involved. And some people are infuriated because the FBI was involved and didn't do enough. I would be too if it was my child that was killed. And I thought, what, you knew this guy was a threat and you didn't do anything, and now my child is killed? I understand. Or my husband or wife, because of the teachers that were killed too. I get the anger, rightfully so. We must do a better job at preventing and stopping these things from happening, especially when there are the warning signs and clues and things indicating that it will, because we know the warning signs. I mean, it's not unique. Again, that boy looking and studying other killers and being fascinated with the Parkland shooting and so forth, that's not unique. We see this among all these other people doing these crimes as well. We've got to take a better stance, and we must do something to stop these. And the criminal charges against the parents, civil suits against the parents, they may do something and they may help, but it's not enough. We need to attack this problem from all different fronts. We need people to have the training. We need people to be trained, not just what to do during an active killer situation, but to recognize potential threats and stop them before they happen. We need all of that to be going on. Want to say hello to a couple people. Jay is here. Jay said, wow. I mean, appreciate you being here, Jay. And Jay also said, great points. Dixon's here. Good morning, Dixon. Dixon said, empowering unstable individuals should be prosecutable, especially in the case of a parent or guardian. I would agree. Let's take guns completely out of this. If I know my kid's drunk and I give them the keys to the car and let them drive anyway, they go through a red light and kill somebody. Yeah, that's on me. It's on both of us. It's going to be on the driver. But if I gave them the keys knowing they were drunk and let them drive, or high, or any kind of impairment, that's on me too. So if I know my child has problems, and obviously this kid had some warning signs, and then I provide them a weapon to go kill people when I know that they're fascinated with killing people and they've already been interviewed because of a potential threat about taking a gun to school and killing people. I mean, come on. That's not somebody I'm going to give a gun to when we got some of those warning signs. We need to get that person help. And unfortunately, they didn't get that boy help. 4 people lost their lives. 9 others were wounded. That boy is going to be locked away. He's going to be tried as an adult. The father's going to be tried. Just destroyed a whole lot of lives. And I think it probably could have been prevented. I think all of those lives could have been saved by helping that boy with whatever kind of help he needed. And obviously there was some mental health problems going on, because if there's not mental health problems, you don't take a gun to school and start killing teachers and fellow students. He needed the help, the mental health help by professionals, and the father didn't get the boy the help. Other people that may have recognized the signs didn't get the boy help, and we had something terrible. We need to do a better job getting people the help they need. That's the bottom line. I appreciate everybody that shows up. Appreciate those that listen to the replays, listen to the podcast. Be sure to download that ebook on staying safe at enjoylifesafely.com. Information to help keep you safe, help keep your family members and loved ones safe during this crazy world we live in, with the sole purpose that when you're safe, you can go out and enjoy more of the good things in life, because that's what we want to do. Make it a fantastic Friday, and I'll see you tomorrow.